Hello students, today we are going to do 5th chapter Just Shoot. Now today I am going to explain you this chapter in English. This story is written by Peter Allison. The writer is a safari guide and this story Just Shoot is based on writer's experience as a safari guide. Now a question arises that who is a safari guide? A safari guide is a person who guides people going into a forest to shoot photographs of wildlife. Now let's begin this story. This story is about a wildlife tour guide out on a trip with his group. This chapter is about a wildlife tour guide, means a safari guide who along with his group members on a trip. Read on to find out what happens when things suddenly go out of control. Now let's read the story to know that what happens when situations suddenly go out of control, when things are not in our control. Spiro Bagu made his first polite request as we set out on our vehicle. I would like to film a lion killing something. When writer and his group had just sat on the vehicle, Spiro Bagu requested humbly that he would like to shoot a lion attacking killing another animals. Actually, Spiro Bagu wanted to capture the fighting of a lion on his video camera. We will see, I said, as we started making our way to the camp. The writer answered that he would see when they just started going towards a camp. It looked like that writer was not certain, he was not sure. On every drive, Spiro Bagu tried to teach every animal how to pose. On each drive, Spiro Bagu would teach the animals how to pose. He grew frustrated when they did not understand him. Grew frustrated means felt disappointed, nirash ho jana. So, when the animals would not understand Spiro Bagu and he could not take the photographs of that animal in desired pose, it would make him frustrated. It would make him डिसअपॉइंटेड, निराश हो जाता था. जब जानवर स्पिरो बागू को समझ नहीं पाते थे तो जो स्पिरो बागू है वो निराश हो जाता था. On our last drive together, I saw fresh lion tracks on the dirt road we were using. Tracks are the footprints, पैरों के निशान, पंजों के निशान. On their last drive, the writer saw some fresh footprints of a lion on the ground on the way on which they were going. I stepped out of the vehicle to take a better look. The writer jumped out of the vehicle so that he could see the footprints of lion closely. Very new, only a few minutes old, I told the group, following the tracks a little farther along the soft dust of the road. The guide noticed and the guide started following the footprints. He noticed and told his group that the footprints were very fresh, just few minutes old. It's an adult female. No, 2 adult females. Initially, the writer found that those were the footprints of 1 adult female lion. And some distance away from it, he noticed the footprints of 2 adult female lions. He told his group about 2 female lions. I knew these lions. The writer knew about those lions. We were in the territory of Martina's pride, a group of only 2 adults. Pride means a group of lion. शेरों का एक समूह. Now the writer and his group were in the territory. Territory means area, region. So the writer and his group were in the region of Martina. where Martina Pride, where Martina and her sister lived. I suspected that one female had given birth to cubs recently. The writer suspected that one female lion had given birth to cubs recently. Cubs are the babies of lions. So the writer suspected that one female lion had just given birth to newborn babies. To make sure the lions had not moved into the thick bush on my left, I walked a little farther without thinking about how far I was going from the vehicle. To check whether these female lions were in the bush on his left side or not, Writer went near to the bushes. He did not realize that he had come a long distance from the vehicle. I was hoping that the lions would be somewhere on the plains to my right, where it would be easier to spot them. The writer guessed that lions would be somewhere on the plains on his right side, and he would locate them, he would watch them easily. "Hey!" I shouted back to the eager faces peering over the back of the open-topped Land Rover. "There are tracks of little cubs here." Peering means looking very carefully at something. किसी चीज को बहुत ध्यान से देखना. And Land Rover, it is a tough vehicle used for rough tracks. एक सख्त कठोर वाहन है जो उबड़ खाबड़ रास्तों पर चलने के लिए प्रयोग किया जाता है. So, the writer noticed the footprints of little cubs on the ground. On the way, he informed to his group members by shouting. His group was sitting in Land Rover, and they were watching. They were looking the guide's movement as well as any movement of lion very carefully. "It looks like the cubs went this way," I pointed into the bush. "And the adults went this way," I said, aiming my other arm out towards a termite mound. Now, termite mound is a small hill of mud made by insects for their dwelling. एक मिट्टी का टीला जिसमें जो कीड़े मकोड़े हैं अपना घर बना लेते हैं. Now the writer pointed to the bush with his left hand and told his friends about the probable location of cubs. He again pointed to the termite mound with his right hand to tell that the adult lions might be there. Now there were the two tracks of footprints. On the left side, there were the footprints of cubs, and on the right side, there were the footprints of adult female lions. While I suddenly realized how stupid I was, the lions came at me. The writer suddenly realized his mistake. Now he was close to the lions, and the lions could attack him anytime. Getting between a lion and her cubs is as dangerous as crossing a busy road with your eyes and ears shut. Now the writer was caught between the lions and their cubs. He was in danger. He compared his situation as if he was crossing a busy road or a highway while his eyes and ears both were shut. I had just forgotten to look both ways. The writer had just forgotten to look the both ways. He was just looking into the bush. He was just looking into the left side. Martina and her sister, who I had seen ripping other animals to pieces on several occasions, were coming at me. The writer had seen Martina and her sister attacking and eating the pieces of many animals on many occasions when he was crossing the forest. I felt naked and cold. The writer felt cold and he started shivering. I now remembered my training. My arms were already raised, making me look bigger. I faced the lions, showing that I had forward-facing eyes like them. This is meant to make them hesitate. Now the writer remembered his training. During training, it was taught whenever you come across a lion or any fearful animal and you have no escape route left, then you stand facing the lion and look straight into his eyes, raise your hands so you look bigger than you are, and in this way that lion or that animal may hesitate to attack you, and this trick may help you to save your life. The writer exactly followed the instructions given to him at the time of training, and it really worked for him. They were not coming in a straight line at me, but were bouncing stiff-legged from side to side, getting increasingly closer. Soon the guide noticed that the female lions, were not coming directly towards him, but they were still coming closer. The distance between the lions and the writer was decreasing with time. This is an almost sure sign of a mock charge. Mock charge means not a real attack, but an attempt to scare or threaten anyone. असली हमला नहीं, किसी को डराने की कोशिश. So, it was a mock attack. The intention of female lions was not to attack him or kill him at the moment. I was relieved to know that the lions might not kill me. Relieved means feeling glad that something unpleasant has not happened. सांस में सांस आना, राहत मिलने कि कुछ बुरा नहीं होने वाला. The writer got hint of the intention of the lions, and he understood that those lions might not attack him, might not kill him. So he was somewhat relieved. He took a sigh of relief. But at the same time, he was cautious that anything can happen anytime. They stopped about 7 meters from me and backed away. Now, when the lions stopped, they were 7 meters away from him. They backed away a bit. The fur along their spine was erect. Their faces twisted into snarls, and low growls filled the air. The fur along their neck was erect. They started snarling and growling at him. I took a step back. They came closer to me. As he stepped back, the lions came closer to him. I gave a roar, but it was less than threatening. The writer roared to threaten those lions, but it had a little effect on them. They backed away, bellies low to the ground, their focus on me, mine on them. Those female lions pulled themselves backward. Their bellies were about to touch the ground. They kept watching me. Their eyes were fixed on me, and their eyes were fixed on guide, and he was also looking at them. He noticed their every move. When they stopped, tails twitching, I took a step back again. They charged. Whenever the female lions stopped, the writer would take a step back. They charged at him again. Every time they kept coming at me with a bouncing run, yellow fur and a fury of teeth, they backed off. The female lions snarled and growled and came closer to the guide. Whenever they stopped, the writer would put a step back. And the last time they backed off, I stepped closer to the vehicle. And in this way, the writer came closer to the vehicle. Suddenly they came straight. This is it, I thought, and gave the only roar I have ever managed with menace in it. All of a sudden, the female lions came running towards the guide. And the guide thought that everything was over. But somehow he roared. He tried to threaten the lions with his roar. But this time, the lions did not hesitate. They did not slow, and it took only a second before they were at me. Those lions did not slow down. They took a few seconds to reach the writer. The lions ran straight past before I became aware that they were not going to hit me. The lions ran straight and passed nearby the writer. Actually, they did not hit him, and the writer realized it later. All that was left was their pungent odor as they headed for the cubs they had been protecting. After the lions passed, the writer smelt a pungent smell. Pungent smell means strong and unpleasant smell. And soon the lions were near to their cubs. I wanted to sit down, but I continued slowly, shakily backing away. Now the writer had a narrow escape. He was lucky. The writer wanted to drop himself on the ground, but he kept moving backward towards his vehicle. He was very disturbed. At the vehicle, I finally turned. When he reached near the vehicle, he turned back. Somehow, the entire group had squeezed into the back seat to watch. Spirubagu had his video camera hanging loosely in his hand, lens cap on. The writer saw that the entire group was at the back of the vehicle and was scared and watching him and the lions and watching him and the lions with holding their breath. Camera of Spirubagu was hanging loosely and the cap was still on the lens. That means that Spirubagu did not shoot the video. He looked very displeased. Spirubagu was very unhappy because he missed the chance to shoot a lion attacking someone else. As I fell into my seat, wanting to cry, wanting to vomit, wanting to laugh and scream, he spoke. I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to get there the first time. Would you mind doing it again? The writer sat down in the vehicle. He was shaken completely. The writer sat down in the vehicle. He was shaken completely. He wanted to confirm he was alive by crying, laughing, screaming, etc. Spirubagu came to the writer and said that sorry, he missed his chance of shooting the video. So he requested the writer to perform that act again. Now, actually, Spirubagu did not realize that it was not an act done intentionally. It was an accident, and the life of the writer could have gone. So, this was a story. This was a story written by Peter Allison. Now, that's all for the day.